hard-fought games, but two important ones. We had that 4-game stretch where we were on the road, and it was good to finish up with 2 wins against Colorado Christian and Regis, and kind of help us move a little bit forward as we get closer to the end of the season.
And then looking ahead, 2 important games this weekend. Well, every weekend is important, but 2 important games against 2 really good teams this weekend. What's going to be different this weekend compared to the couple weeks ago when you played the same 2 teams?
Well, I think the stakes get higher and higher with every game, and with Westminster, just playing them 2 weeks ago, we're very familiar with them. They're familiar with us, and obviously we left there kind of with a bad taste in our mouth. Had an 18-point lead and blew that, but I think it's one game where we have to look at where we can get better and then improve ourselves in the standings, because I know they want a championship, we want a championship, and it's an important game for both of us.
Questions?
Danny, you looking forward to that Westminster rematch?
Oh, yeah.
What are you looking forward to specifically about it?
I definitely just think that this rematch, especially being home, is going to be a really big game. We love playing in front of our crowd, and I think they're going to give us that little energy booster that we needed back then. But just being able to play them again, I mean, they're a great team, and just getting the win against them is going to be great.
I know no loss is fun, but looking back at the one loss you've had in conference play now, have you learned any lessons and applied it to how you guys are playing now?
Definitely. I mean, we got to clamp down on defense. We can't have any let-ups, and we can't get comfortable with where we're at.
Danny, I was talking to Coach last weekend, and you're kind of seeing in your game now what teams were doing to Jay last year. They're playing you a little bit differently, especially in the second half we saw Saturday night.
Yeah.
How do you kind of figure out, okay, this is what they're doing, and be able to change what you do?
I definitely know that they're going to guard my jump shot more, and just with that opens up driving lanes more for me, and then getting to the lane is going to open up more spots, like more shots for my teammates and everything. So I definitely know that I just have to round my game around whatever they throw at me and just can't let it come as a surprise.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, gimmick defenses, here they come, and you're probably going to face that at some point, is somebody's going to throw in, a triangle or something on you. So
Yeah.
It'll be fun the last couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Sierra, defensively, I mean, you've really looked like you're concentrating a lot, trying to help rebound, taking a little bit of pressure off. I mean, Sid is such a good rebounder. You're giving them just one more person. Is that something that you're just focusing on a little bit more?
Yeah, I'd say it's something I focus on every game. I feel like it's my role on the team and something that I can contribute and help out Sid, like you said, because Sid's always fighting for the rebounds and stuff. So just kind of being her wingman down there and just doing whatever I can to help my team.
How nice is it to be back at home?
Oh, it's so nice. I'm so excited for this weekend. It's going to be really awesome.
How much of a boost does it give you knowing that you've got a home crowd that will go nuts?
I think it's something that the whole team looks forward to every weekend. It's nice just playing in front of our crowd. Like you said, huge energy booster for us, and we definitely feed off their energy for sure.
Well, really, this will be the first weekend you'll have students on campus.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had a big crowd their last home game with basically the wrestling team and swim team were the only ones even around. They might have been on the road. What do the students add to the faction of this? I mean, you get great community support, but then you throw in some students. Does that kind of mess with the other team even more than giving you guys a boost?
Oh, I don't know. I would say it's great having them there, just seeing other teams support us. But I don't know if it gives us an extra boost or not, but it's nice having their support.
Yeah, I agree. I think the students sometimes take it a little too over the top when talking to the other team, trying to get in their heads. So, I mean, by all means, they could keep doing that if they want. But I think just having, the whole community, including the students, is great. Just shows, everybody has our backs.
And then Coach Wagner, going into this game, you guys lost that 18-point lead against Westminster 2 weeks ago. What adjustments need to be made to make sure that doesn't happen at home?
That's a good question. We just have to play better. We played a great game for 3 quarters, and then we just let up, and our defense was poor. You know, we let them shoot, I think, 80% in that 4th quarter, and that can't happen. And, you know, it was kind of crazy because we missed shots, they made shots, and it opened the game up for them. And I think that's the biggest thing is just the concentration on every single play. It's going to be magnified from here on out, especially on Friday's game.
Girls, I know coaches talk to you about, okay, every week it gets bigger and bigger. You went through it last year, but obviously your roles have changed an awful lot this year. What are you seeing that, okay, everything is magnified and everybody, this is the biggest game of the year for them when they play you? I mean, you really saw that last week. How do you guys handle that, and how do you adjust to kind of take control of games?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I know, like, each game is always going to be important, especially if we want to make it to the NCAA tournament. So it's like each game is a championship game, and that's how we should always look at it. But at the same time, just like, if you play your heart out, if you leave everything out on the floor, then your hard work is what's going to ultimately show at the end of the game, and that should be the win.
Yeah, going off of Danny, I would say, especially playing like these teams twice, they know what we're gonna do. So just making adjustments. Like we know each team's gonna play their heart out against us, especially being like the top seed right now. Everyone wants to beat us. Going back to last year, like trying to defend the championship spot again is important to us too. So I think just taking each game like at a time and making sure that we're doing what we need to do, then we'll see success towards the end.
Cool.
You don't like my questions of the week?
We have a lot of pressure on us right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right there, absolutely. This is more pressure than during a game. Okay, if you could go back in time and meet one person, who would it be?
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant.
And why?
Definitely, like, just growing up, he was one of the main reasons, like, I started playing basketball, and I've always idolized him, and, like, my high school coaches always used him as an example. My travel coach always showed us videos of, like, plays and everything, motivational stuff, so he's just always been a big inspiration to me.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
I think someone asked this a couple of weeks ago, and a guy got in big trouble for saying the wrong thing. So, you know, I love sports and everything, but I'm also a big history person too. So, I don't know. I kind of like different eras of history, and so anybody that meant something to, I think, our country, I think it'd be kind of cool to kind of see how they thought and just different things. So there's not one particular person that I love. But
Shortchanging me.
yeah, yeah. John Stockton.
Okay.
I knew that was coming.
All right, there you go.